When it comes to preparing for disaster, the best time to do so is before the disaster occurs. It is important to have enough food and water on hand to take care of yourself, your family, and your pets for at least 3 days during any type of disaster, both natural and man made. For those living in hurricane prone areas, consider having enough food and water for 7 days or longer. Let's take a look at what an emergency food and water kit might look like, starting with the water. Water is essential for life. During a disaster or emergency, safe drinking water can become scarce or even contaminated. At minimum, you should have 1 gallon of water per person and pet per day. This means a family of 4 should have at least 12 gallons of water on hand for hydration and maintaining personal hygiene for 3 days. When the weather is hot and humid, you may want to plan for as much as 2 gallons of water per person or pet. Commercially bottled water is the easiest way to assemble your emergency water stores. However, you can also store tap water by using a food-grade plastic container that has been properly sanitized. Label the container drinking water, store in a cool place out of direct sunlight, and rotate every 6 months. For food supplies, you can either build your own or buy a pre-assembled kit. Be sure that the foods you choose can be stored for several months at a time. Also, try to include foods that require little or no preparation, keeping in mind that during stressful times like a disaster or emergency, familiar foods eaten by your family can be a source of comfort. Here's a list of some types of food good to store within a kit. In your emergency food supplies, be sure to pack necessary supplies that you will need in order to eat your food, such as a manual can opener, paper towels, paper plates, plastic utensils, scissors, hand sanitizer, and a pan to heat canned foods. Remember, get your supplies of food and water before an emergency or disaster hits. Otherwise, you may not have time to prepare or there may not be any supplies available. Also, during times of an emergency or disaster, it is important to maintain your strength and your health. Don't take risks by eating contaminated food or drinking contaminated water. Last but not least, if you can't tell whether or not a food is safe to eat, don't eat it. Remember the saying, when in doubt, throw it out. For more information about disaster preparedness and recovery, visit texashelp.tamu.edu. For a handout with all of the information discussed in this video, please visit foodsafety.tamu.edu and click the Home Food Safety tab.